Morning, it's me again. So I know a few of my videos I haven't done the finished product. Hopefully my husband's busy so I can do the finished product this time around. I'm going to be making lasagna today, so I'm going to need to make my own lasagna sauce. Well, I don't have to, but my kids have now decided that they won't eat anything other than homemade. So I got my trusty Ninja. I will have to do the other process in a bit. Probably remember from one of my previous videos I ran out of Italian mixed seasoning. I've still got the empty pot in here. I don't know why I haven't gone out and bought a new one. It just keeps coming up as out of stock online, so just make it up with my own one. So I've got like my parsley, I've got, what's that one? My basil, I've got my thyme and my oregano, or oregano, depending on obviously what part of the pond you're from. 2 tins of tomatoes. I go for plum tomatoes just because they don't tend to have as much of the water in them, so you don't end up with a sloppy sauce. You end up with a more of a sauce. I know that probably sounds really random, but in my head it makes sense. Courgette, just because it's been knocking around at the back of the fridge, and I could throw some extra veggies in there, and the kids won't. No, shh, don't tell the husband either. And then I've got 1 red pepper, 1 green pepper, because again, my one daughter swears that she doesn't like green peppers, but she eats them when they're in a sauce. And 1 onion. I might go for 2 onions, but we'll see how it goes. I have kind of moved things around. I've just moved that one over to the side just to make a little bit more space and make it actually look tidier. Doesn't necessarily mean my kitchen is tidier, but it just gives me a little bit more space to work from on here. I'm just going to chop up, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Right, I'm back. I've chopped up my veggies in bits and bobs. With the onion, I've just gone for 1 onion because I'm going to use onion granules as well. My daughters get a little bit fuzzy about it, so I'm just going to throw them all in. I'm sorry I don't have a stand or anything, so you might be a little bit out of shot every now and then just because I'm not the best camera person, I'm not going to lie. Try and pop that one there. If I try and do it with this hand, that might help. And then a little bit of the onions. Again, tin tomatoes. I know it looks like it's above the full line, but when it mulches up, it will go down, so don't worry. I've had a few people comment about the fact that it's fuller than what it should be. I've never had it overfill. What I'm going to do is just throw them in there as well, because like I said, it will mulch down. So I've gone for the 2. I did forget to get out the onion granules that I've got here as well, so throw them in. Again, I don't really measure, I just sort of wing it in and see how I go. Obviously, if you want to use an Italian herb mix, you can. If you want to use a lasagna seasoning or an Italian seasoning, again, you can. It's only because I've run out of my mixed herbs, so that's why I'm kind of winging it, just throwing it all in. I'm not going to put my salt and pepper in yet. I almost said salt and vinegar. I'm not going to put my salt and pepper in yet, purely because I don't actually like doing that until the end, because then I can taste test it, because otherwise if it's too salty, I'm playing it like that. So a little bit of garlic granules. It's just garlic powder, sorry. A little bit granulated, just that one there. It's because I've got it sat in my cupboard, and obviously a bit of steam's got into my cupboard, that's all. So, and then blew that into my own face. Lovely. Again, like I said, the clue's in the name of my YouTube page. It's chaos in my kitchen, so that's pretty much me all over. I'm going to put about that much of garlic from a jar in. I might add a little bit more, but my girls keep saying that I go a bit over heavy on the garlic. So I'm going to try just a little bit of garlic and then adapt. And then stick the lid on, and I'll let you know. Sorry, I had to cut it really, really short there. Said the husband was busy upstairs. He then decided to come down and talk to the doctor on the phone in front of me. But hey ho, we move on. So it's all in here. You can see everything's in there. Obviously the fill line is about there, I think. So it is above the fill line, but as I said, when all this mulches down, because peppers are pretty much water anyway, it does mulch down and it comes to about here generally, so it is fine. I know it's against their guidelines, but it's what I do. I'm not saying everyone else has to do it, but it's just how I do it. Turn on my machine, again, a little bit dusty. And then you've got your smooth soups, crunchy soup, chunky soup, sauce and jam. Normally you do the sauce function. My kids actually prefer it when I do it on the soup one because it comes out a little bit thicker. I don't know the science behind it, but it's how they want it, so it's how I do it. So I just click it on the smooth, and then there you go. I've got my timer going. You can see your buttons going saying heat on. Every 5 minutes or so it'll just whoosh up and whatnot else. And I'll come back with a finished product this time. Perfect timing. I was going to like play out the last few seconds, but anyone with a Ninja knows that they can be bloody loud when they're on the last bit. So you see the fill line is right there, and that's exactly where it's ended up after it's been mulched down. It will stay on there until you need it, so keep him warm until you need it. I will, however, turn mine off because I'm going to be using mine later. I've pre-made my white sauce while that was going on. That's what the pan's there for. Right, I don't recommend doing this straight after it finishes because it could be bloody hot. But bear with me. Hopefully I don't burn myself. Let a bit of the steam escape. There you go. So, as you can see, I've got a nice, smooth, well, technically smooth soup, so you can have it as a soup. I imagine it probably tastes pretty banging as a soup. But as you can see, we've got a nice, smooth sauce for doing our lasagna, and then anything that's left over I will use for a pasta sauce, or I'll use it as a pizza base. So that is my sauce pretty much done. I'll taste test it. I'll put as much salt and pepper in as I need it, as much as humanly needed. But yeah, so that is it, actually all finished. If you want me to do a few pictures at the end or in the comments about my finished lasagna, let me know. Feeling that. Thank you very much for watching.